Hi, good evening. Welcome to yet another session. Good evening, Marcia. So let's slowly start today. Okay, so today is a different kind of topic. It's about sleep, where if you look through the texts of Ayurveda, there hasn't been too many things that have been told as far as sleep goes, but the qualities and properties of sleep has been told. But it's very interesting to understand what sleep is all about. Okay, so these sessions, hi Ramesh. So these sessions happen every Tuesday, okay, at 9 p.m. IST. So today what we are going to do is talk about sleep in Ayurveda. So all of you know that sleep is something which is very important for all of us. Okay, without sleep, we cannot function properly. We cannot survive at all. Yes, probably a few days or a little bit, a few hours, few days we can stay without sleeping. But if you don't sleep for long, that people go crazy. And that is one way. That a lot of even during police custody and all those things, they see that they don't sleep, so that they irritate them and they actually blurt the truth out. So sleep is something which keeps us extremely sane. Okay. Okay, so I would say hi, Lakshmi. Now let's get into this. Okay, so what how do you understand sleep? Sleep is basically called nidra in Sanskrit, and sometimes it's also called as swapna. Okay, swapna kala means it need not be only dream, it is the time where you sleep. So it is one among the natural urges. We spoke about the urges last time. There are 14 urges that has been mentioned in Ayurveda, and sleep is one normal thing which happens to people. So that means if you are feeling sleepy, you have to sleep. That is what you mean by a natural urge. Okay, it is one among the three sub pillars on which life exists. Okay, the other two are food and sex. If food, sex, and sleep are properly in balance, a person is happy or he's healthy physically, mentally, and spiritually. Okay, so these are the sub pillars on which health is standing, and sleep is also equated to tamas, and because tamas is when the moon dominates. So we normally say, sleep when the moon dominates and eat when the sun dominates. Okay, so when the sun dominates, when you actually have your agni or your digestive capacity actually very high, so that's when you have to eat. And when the moon dominates, it's a time for you to rest. Okay, so if you look outside, every animal, leave the nocturnal animals away, every animal by the time it is sunset, okay, what happened? You can see them slowly go and rest. Only humans, after night, after sunset, we start making programs at 10 o'clock in the night, 11 o'clock in the night. And there are a lot of people who go to bed at 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, when it is actually time to get up. Okay, so these are not good. We'll go into it one by one. Okay, so sleep and tridoshas. Okay, sleep actually increases kapha, or when you other way around also, when you have got too much of kapha, you feel sleepy, you feel lazy, you have got a tendency to go to bed also. Okay, so both are related. Sleep increases kapha, sleep reduces vata and pitta. Okay. What happens is, and if you don't sleep, that means your vata and pitta go up. Okay, or other way around, if your vata and pitta are very high, also you find it very difficult to sleep. and the right time to sleep is at night. That's what I said. Sleep is also correlated with tamas. You have to sleep when the moon is dominating. That doesn't mean that when there is no moon, you don't have to sleep. That's not what I meant. Okay, tamas is darkness. So so that means after sunset, it is a time when the moon dominates, irrespective of whether you have got the moon in the sky or not. Okay, and day is not the time for anybody to sleep. There are conditions, yes, kids, elderly people, people who are sick, or pregnant women. A lot of exceptions where people can sleep at summers, where people can sleep in the daytime, but by and large, sleeping in daytime is contraindicated. It is not good for health. Okay, now let's get into the next slide. What does we say? Sleep time. Okay, night sleep. So when you it increases kapha and helps the body relax and recover. I would say that there the body, it's a part of nature, and sleeping is again natural. And when we are awake, we are consciously doing a lot of things. But when we are sleeping, how do I put this? Sleep is actually, in a way, it is just like death, right? You are completely out of control, and that is when the natural uh, what do you call it, tendency or instinct of the body actually kicks in, and it does a lot of auto repair. So sleep is sometime where the time where the body does a lot of auto repair, where you don't interfere. That is very important, and you have to get that 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay, and day sleep is not good because it increases kapha too much. It causes indigestion and weight gain. When you sleep, it is called, snigdha. Okay, diva swapnam snigdham. It actually blocks all the channels, and you have got a tendency to put on weight. You would have noticed that sometimes if you sleep in the afternoon, you find it very difficult to get up from afternoon sleep. You feel so lazy. It is because the kapha has gone up and you are pulled down. Okay, and avoiding night sleep. So if you avoid night sleep, it is exactly the opposite of sleeping in the afternoon. When you say sleeping in the daytime is snigdha, that means it actually nourishes the body, or it increases the sliminess in the body. Not sleeping at night is exactly opposite of it. It makes the body extremely dry. Okay, and extreme increase of vata. So it is not at all good to stay awake at night. See, once in a while you have got some function, you have got some program happening, yes, good, but don't ever make it a habit. you know and position, how to sleep. See, normally you always will have a comfort position which you get good sleep. I would say continue doing that, but by and large, if you look, it's always good to sleep on your left side. Vama bhage shayanascha. Okay, sleep on vama bhaga means left side. Sleep on your left side. Okay, so when to sleep? Normally we say, you have to sleep because sleep increases kapha, or as I said, when kapha is slightly on the higher side, you will feel sleepy also. So normally it is always good to start sleeping when it is the kapha time of the day. That is between, see, for a place where the sunrise is at 6 and the sunset is at 6, it's normally from 6 to 10 in the evening is kapha period. It's always good to go to bed by about 9:30, 10, so that you are already in bed when the kapha is high, not immediately after food. It becomes very heavy for you, so you wait for some time. But normally you see that when the food is getting digested, people falling asleep is a natural thing, instinct of you'll feel that. What you'll have a lot of things to do. You might be watching a movie, or you might be doing something else. You are not aware that you're sleepy because you're preoccupied. And once you miss that window, you'll see that it's very difficult for you to go to bed. But that is the time where you have to go to bed, when your food is getting digested. Okay, so sleep is something, so you can start asking a question. Sleep is something which is very, very important. As I said, it is a natural urge and you cannot avoid it. The moment you start avoiding sleep, your body will start degenerating because regeneration happens when you sleep. Okay. Uh, Let me start the questions. Okay, Ramesh, please guide us with a shortcut to good sleep. There is basically, I don't say there's a shortcut, but there are a few things which you can actually do to get good sleep. One thing is application of oil on the body, and taking an oil bath will actually help you get good sleep. Second thing is never ever skip your dinner. Okay, and the third thing is don't actually think about a lot of things which are not necessary. That means you should get detached from what you're doing. If you have got a lot of thoughts happening, you will not get sleep. And last but not the least, it is always good for you to drink a glass of milk before you go to bed. It will actually help you sleep well. By and large, these are all lifestyle things, but there are no shortcuts, Ramesh. Emergency, I sleep right away after lying my head on the bed. Okay. Yeah, so probably you might be somebody who would be okay with 5 to 6 hours of sleep, and I would say that would be because you are more of a might be a little bit of vata predominant. Okay, so you can try this thing. You can probably take a half a glass of milk with a little bit of ghee in that. Okay, and see that you don't sleep a couple of maybe 3 hours or 4 hours after your dinner. What happens? Your stomach is completely empty. Okay, so again your vata goes up, and by the time it is 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, your system, see, when to go to, as I said, kapha actually puts you to sleep. So if you have got that little bit of kapha in your system, your sleep will also improve. So I would say you just try doing this thing: a glass of milk, add a tablespoon of ghee, and have it at bedtime. Okay. Okay, but still you can do this. Milk and ghee is something which you can do at night. Masha, just let us know. Yes, Suma, I was just telling right now, for a person who is weak, especially when a person who's got Parkinson's, his vata is extremely high. For a person where the vata is extremely high, he can sleep in the afternoon. But for a person with Parkinson's, if he feels comfortable sleeping in the afternoon, yes, he can continue, but not for a healthy person. Okay, your father, I totally agree. It is good for him that he gets that sleep in the afternoon. And I would say it's always good for you to see that he applies a little bit of oil on his body on a regular basis and takes a warm water shower, apart from the medicines. Okay. Um, Arvind, that's a very good question. Mostly, we will see a comfortable cotton mattress is what has been mentioned in Ayurveda. Okay, and so mattress is basically made of cotton. Okay, and it says it should not be very thick or very thin. Okay, so I think that's it. Cotton mattress is definitely the best thing. Amount of sleep for an 8-year old. 8-year old is somebody probably son or daughter would have started going to school by now. Okay, I would say it is always good to see that the child sleeps somewhere around 9 hours. If it is 10 hours also, it's fine, but see that it sleeps, he or she sleeps at night. Whatever happens, put the baby into bed before 9 o'clock. Okay, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 6 o'clock or 7, 9 hours to 10 hours would be perfect. Otherwise, what will happen is a child goes, plays, and comes back and sleeps, comes back from school and sleeps. Okay, if she sleeps for about half an hour or so in the evening, then the night sleep is affected. Okay, irrespective of whether it's a holiday or not, see that the child sleeps the same time. Okay, 8 to 9 hours would be okay for the child. 9 to 10 hours also is fine for the child. Whether we can sleep with our stomach. Okay. Vayare அழுத்தி படுக்கலாமா? Okay. So his question is whether you can sleep on your tummy after. Yes, I don't think it is bad, but I would say it's better to sleep on your left side. But if that is the position in which you are comfortable and you get good sleep, there's something called getting used to. Okay. So if you're used to sleeping like that and that's where you get good sleep, I would say, Ramesh, it is very important that you get good sleep rather than focusing more on a position and then not getting good sleep. Sleep on it, but don't sleep immediately after food. Okay. My throat gets coarse or hoarse. That means you get a lot of phlegm or it becomes okay. If probably we'll have to see why do you have cough or do you have phlegm or do you have probably sometimes what happens is if you have got sinusitis you might get that feeling the throat. Even for people who have got a little bit of more hyperacidity also feels that in the throat. So your might be typically could be a medical condition. Probably we'll have to consult you. If you can probably consult any doctor and he might be able to help you. But I would say otherwise, if you're somebody who is doing regular exercise, lot of things will come down. Okay, sleep early, sleep really well, do a lot of exercises. I think a lot of things will settle. Apart from that, if you can consult a doctor, it will be good, Shilpa. You know, yes, traditionally, if you look, there are a lot of people who have been what do you call meditating on deer skin, or some people also on tiger skin and all those things. Um, those days, yes, but I don't know what, frankly speaking, I don't know the science behind it. But one thing I can tell you is about the kusha grass. Kusha grass is something, which I think a lot of studies have happened on kusha grass, where it says that it just like you have an antenna, on top of a house to catch signals. Kusha grass is something which can catch a lot of signals. Okay, a lot of studies have happened, and that could be one reason why kusha or darbha also is actually very good. So we, for all pujas and for all those things, even the ring which you call the pavitram, which is made, is also made of darbha. It actually connects with the cosmos. Okay, it actually like how we say, it acts like an antenna. So meditating probably on the kusha or darbha grass would actually be good. But other things, I don't know what would be the science behind deer skin or what do you call tiger skin. But one thing is that we have been taught that we should not sit directly on the floor or on the earth while doing any meditation, because we have to be insulated. Otherwise, you don't, it's directly been taken by the earth. So that could be one reason. I don't know, but we are not supposed to sit directly on earth. Okay, Aravind, other thing, I'm not sure. Deer skin or tiger skin, I'm not sure. Thank you, Ramesh. Yeah, I can, detailed video will take a long time, but I can just try to explain to you. So any metal which does not react with food while cooking is something which you have to use. Okay. So the best vessel for eating is gold. Okay. And then probably but since most people cannot afford gold, we go for other vessels. Okay, something that looks like gold is brass. Okay, brass is actually a very good one to cook. It does not react with most of things. Only if probably you are using too much of sour things, then brass might not work. Otherwise, brass is actually a very good vessel to cook. Okay, it's an alloy. It's a very good vessel to cook in. So I would say nowadays, we have also come up with stainless steel. Stainless steel is something also which does not react, and stainless steel is basically iron. It is hit and then it's converted to stainless steel. So if there is a choice between a copper vessel to eat, or some people say, can I cook in an iron kadai? Sometimes I say, Sometimes it's fine, for some lot of things are not good. Nowadays, industrially, most people use stainless steel so that there is absolutely no reaction at all. Okay, so you can leave food in stainless steel. You can leave, yes, you can leave food in a brass vessel also, but as I said, sour food not allowed. It is actually extremely good to cook also in earthen vessel. Okay. Eosinophils are extremely high. That means you have got allergic. You are allergic. Your upper respiratory system is allergic to something, and you have got eosinophilia. It needs. See, it depends. Shetty. It depends upon what kind of infection you have got. Okay. It could allergy. Basically, when you have got that means you have got an allergic reaction to something. You can take any anti-allergen, and then what happens is it basically subsides the whole thing. But that is not the approach. I want your immunity to go up and then handle the situation. Okay. So, in my opinion, Shetty, anything that can cleanse your upper respiratory system would be the first approach. Okay, it depends upon how much of phlegm you have got. That would be my approach, first approach. And then probably give a lot of medicines and then strengthen your body and increase your immunity. Eosinophil high can definitely be managed. Your mom is 65 and she sleeps around 6 hours, and probably that 6 hours she might be sleeping really well, like a log. Okay, so probably might be enough for her. That the she could be somebody who, it doesn't mean we can apply that rule for everybody. Okay, so 6 hours of sleep she might be fine, but by and large, what I'm telling is people need to get that 6 to 8 hours of sleep for that repair to happen in the body. Okay, if she's fine with 6 hours and then she's working and she's not getting tired, it's okay. But as she ages 65, if she reaches 70, if she feels like catching up with half an hour or so in the afternoon, you should not stop her, or she should not stop herself. I don't have the habit of sleeping in the afternoon. No, if she feels like sleeping, it's an urge, she has to follow that. What are the night time before sleep routine described? Yes. Okay. Brushing of teeth has been told after food, so you have to brush your teeth. I always tell my patients to clean their teeth. Okay, brushing, yes, brushing to clean their teeth at night, and in the morning, you have to use whatever little bit of paste or whatever it is, and just to cleanse or just to feel fresh. But the cleaning of the teeth has to happen at night. I also tell them, even though Ayurveda texts don't tell it very clearly, but I tell them to do the tongue scraping also at night. Okay, need not be, can do in the morning, but the reason why I'm telling you is because most of the infections, they start from the throat. Once it starts from the throat, it can actually go down to the lungs, it can go to the stomach, it can go up to the ears, nose, throat. So the mouth or the oral cavity is very important. And when you're asleep, you have got saliva accumulating in your mouth, and all the bacteria is there in the atmosphere and in the saliva. So it's always good to keep your oral thing very clean before you go to bed. Okay, I can probably we can talk about that. Okay, but to actually introduce about it, most of the knee pain, if you don't have an injury, is because of the muscles around the knees are not strong enough. Okay, you have put on weight, the whole body weight is coming on the knees, but still, if you're somebody who does regular exercises and keep the muscles around the knees extremely toned and strong, you will not have knee pains. It's not only for the knee, it's for most all joints. Sandhi Vedana has been mentioned in Mamsaksha. That means when the muscles have lost their tone. We can definitely talk about it. Okay. So it depends upon whether it is degenerative or infective. Okay, Pushkila. But by and large, see that you do regular exercises and your muscles around the knees are actually kept strong. and you can't afford to put on weight, because as you age, if your weight keeps on increasing or if your weight is the same, also it's a problem. You have to start losing weight, because your leg is not as strong as it used to be before. Pushkala, I understand your question. It depends upon condition to condition. Yes, even if it is infective, like even a lot of conditions, yes, we can actually manage it really well and cure it. But again, I don't want to commit right now, because it depends from person to person. It all, see, medicines are there, treatments are there, lifestyles are there, and sometimes what happens is the patient don't cooperate. Okay, they expect the medicines to do everything. No, it is only 50-50. It's about the food, the medicines. Okay, food, lifestyle, medicine is half, and then half is again the patient's contribution. The patient also has to work with themselves, otherwise it's going to be difficult. Okay, Pushkal, I hope you understand that. Hi Rajini, good evening. Arvind, yes, a lot of people have told about walking barefoot. I do agree. I've got a different take for this. As far as we understand, the body is made of the five elements: the space, air, fire, water, and earth. Everything, the body and everything in this world is made of those five things. So that's the reason why it's always good for you to basically connect with all those five things. So going around barefoot, getting into water is not swimming pool. Getting into water, I would say, water which is alive. What do you mean by alive water? Water where you have got life. It could be a pond, it could be a river, where life is happening. So that is water which is alive, not a swimming pool water. You get into that, again coming that's again coming in contact with water, and then you exposing yourself to wind. Sun is basically the fire. All these things are very important, because all these things actually heal us. Okay, it is not only about inflammation. Lot of benefits do come when you are exposed to all the five elements on a regular basis. Okay, so it's very important, Aravind. That is actually a very nice question. Okay, so any other questions? So people normally, you could have seen a lot of people who do night duties. uh, and initially it sounds very great, but over a period of time you understand that night duty or working at night shift actually takes a toll on people's health. Okay, acidity is something which is very, 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 very common with people who work at night, because as I said, the first part of the day is first part of the night. That means after sunset is kapha, and then it is pitta, and then it is vata. So initially, after the kapha stage, you are still awake. Your metabolism kicks in, and then you slowly start feeling hungry. You would have noticed when you're awake at night, you slowly start feeling hungry. You want to eat something, and that actually spoils your health. Okay, and if you still resist and not eat something, you'll slowly see that you'll find gas entering your stomach. So these are all conditions which can actually lead to a lot of problems in future. So as much as possible, it is good that you stick to a job where you can sleep peacefully at night. Okay, most of the CEOs may kick me, but this is the truth, that you can't go against nature and say that, yeah, I'm going to be healthy. Some people say, I'm an owl, I am a late sleeper. It might sound good initially, yes. When you're young and energetic and robust, it might be good, but after a point of time, it will start hitting back. You will start feeling the ill effects of staying awake at night. Okay, so it's always good to wake up early. Waking up early also, see, that's after sleep, right? So people say you have to get up at Brahma Muhurta. Not exactly everybody has to get up at Brahma Muhurta, but everybody has to get up before sunrise. Okay, ill people, elderly people, we don't want to do that. But apart from that, everybody has to get up at least by sunrise. Okay, so any other question? And one other thing which I've noticed with people is, they eat their dinner pretty early. They say now we consume our dinner by before sunset, and then they go to bed at only about 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock because I've got work or they watch a movie on Netflix and all those things. That is not good at all. Okay, the sense, if you take one thing what our elders did, then I think you should take it in totality. If you're having a dinner at about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I would say it's always good for you to go to bed at about 8:30. Okay, don't give too much of gap so that everything is digested and gone. You are wide awake, your metabolism again kicks in, you start feeling hungry, but you've decided not to eat. And then what happens is your acidity goes up and then you end up in problems. Okay, so I would say maybe about 2 hours or 2.5 hours after dinner, probably you can actually go to bed. And when you go to bed, then that's when you actually get the best sleep. Okay, so no more questions. Okay, so shall we wind up the session today? Okay, then thank you very much. Okay, good night. We'll meet you next week with another topic. Okay, good night.